Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Kirsty and this is Stuck in the Mud. So this week is OCD Awareness Week and today I wanted to talk about the main difference between not having OCD and having OCD and being an OCD and anxiety sufferer. So the main difference is the way we approach our thoughts. So when you have OCD, you have lots of intrusive thoughts. And what we tend to do is we tend to get so involved in them and we get drawn into them because we want to work them out. We want to know why we're having this intrusive thought. We'll do anything to work it out. Like, why is this here? Why am I thinking this? And then someone that doesn't have OCD, you know what? They get intrusive thoughts too. And don't believe anyone that says they don't get intrusive thoughts because everybody gets them. And yeah, it's true. Everybody gets them. And the thing is that they don't latch onto them because they recognize that thought as a random thought. It's like, what's that? That's a bit weird. And move on with their day. They think, I've had this. They do recognize it sometimes and sometimes they don't. See, people without OCD, they may recognize it as just a nonsense thought. They may recognize it as a scary thought. They may recognize it as an uncomfortable thought. But that's all it is. They recognize it as just a thought. It doesn't say anything about them and they just move on with their day and they're able to leave it be, leave it alone and go, oh, right, that's a bit strange, a bit weird, and move on with their day. But people with OCD, this is the difference. We grab onto that thought. We want to work it out. We want to know why we're having this thought. And there's many reasons for this. I mean, I do think there is a biological connection where we are different. You know, there's some filter there, the rational kind of filter that something's missing and we can't just discard it as easily as other people. And that's the difficult thing because we get so hooked into these thoughts and we get so scared by them and they drive the anxiety, they drive all these feelings and sensations and they're really uncomfortable. When you have intrusive thoughts, you know, my heart goes out to you because I know how hard that is. I've been through it. I'm still going through it. You know, it's not because I'm very functional now. I'm functioning fine, but they still come in because I have OCD and I've always had OCD. I'm very sensitive to these thoughts that come in, and these intrusive thoughts will just pop up anytime, and they can be popping up at many times of the day, popping up when you least expect it, or maybe they're just popping up and I'm discarding them straight away. I know they're there, but I just let them be there in the background, and that is the difference in recovery. We start to recognize these intrusions as just thoughts. And we've got to recognize that this is OCD. This is what OC does. It wants to latch on. It wants to get you hooked in and trying to work it out, trying to doubt, because OCD is the doubting disorder. And, I do think, like I said before, there is a biological connection, our environment, things happen and awakens OCD, awakens that beast, which is, I like to call it the beast OCD, because it's a big bully and it'll try to draw you in as best it can and it'll find a way that's going to make you doubt and that's going to pull you in the easiest. So they'll find ways, they'll find certain subtypes of OCD that are going to hit you the hardest and going to hurt you because they know that you're so far apart from that. If OCD was a person, and a bully, they know that that's so far apart from where you are and they're going to find that route to come out. So they'll find a certain subtype of OCD, like harm or contamination, any of these things, whether it be responsibility, relationships, anything. I could go on, the list could go on, but they're all the same because they're just finding an outlet. OCD is finding an outlet for the easiest way to get you hooked in. And that is what I wanted to talk about today, because everybody gets intrusions. Everybody gets intrusive thoughts, whether they want to admit it or not. Everyone gets them. But they discard them so much easier than people that suffer from OCD. And I've spent probably almost 40 years now thinking, why do I latch onto them? But I'm just must be wired differently. And I think people with OCD are very sensitive. I've spoken at length about this before. I think we are very sensitive people, and it's just easier for us to get hooked in. We can't discard these thoughts as easily as other people can that don't suffer from OCD and anxiety. And like I say, I've always questioned, why do I struggle with this? But then I've had to come to an acceptance that these are just OCD thoughts. It's the disorder itself. It's not how I am, how I feel, how I am morally, or any of those things. It's not who I am at my core. It's just OCD being very loud and trying to get my attention. It's trying its best to grab me and get me hooked in and sucked in. So it keeps me locked in to this place where I'm on my knees because I'm trying to figure out what this means and what this thought means about me and why have I got this? Doubting all day, every day. I've got so much compassion for anyone that has to go through this every day, day in and day out, because it's tough. But there is a way out, and it doesn't have to consume our lives to the extent OCD can. There is a way to heal from OCD and not pull you in like it did before. Because when we come to an acceptance that we have OCD and recognize that these are just thoughts, they don't mean anything, we can discard them much easier. And you may do that alongside medication. And I have chosen that route personally for me, but everybody's different. But I found the combination of therapy and antidepressants for me worked amazing. I found it much easier to let go of the thoughts when I was on the combination of the two, when I was doing my therapy and taking my medication. So that's where I'm up to now. But let me tell you, I've had lots of times when I've become very well rehearsed in the therapy, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm practicing my therapy consistently. So that would be a mixture of metacognitive therapy and exposure and response prevention. And that relaxed awareness of my thoughts, but just letting them be there, not actively getting involved. And if I feel myself getting pulled in, that's fine. Don't beat yourself up. You've got to be kind and gentle to yourself. Just recognize it. Oh, I got a bit sucked in, that's fine. And leave it alone again. And once we become more consistent with this practice, believe me, it gets so much easier. It really does. And I'm living proof of that, because I've been in some really sticky spots with OCD over the years. And when I do this consistently, I see a big improvement in my life. I'm much more functional every day. I'm much more motivated, and my mood is a lot higher. I'm happier. So yeah, don't give up. We all get intrusive thoughts, but we react to them differently. People with OCD are going to struggle more because, like I say, we get hooked in more easily than the next person that doesn't suffer from OCD. But we can do things to make it easier. And that's what I want to put across in these videos, is we can have a different relationship with our thoughts, and we can see them for what they are. They are just thoughts. OCD is the OCD is the doubting disorder, and it's no mean feat. If you're going through this every day, I know how strong you are, because it's tough. It really is tough. And it's hard. It's so hard when you have to deal with thoughts like this every day. It can really get you down and get you to a real low place. And you don't deserve to be there. We need to get people with OCD functioning and accepting these thoughts for what they are, that they're just OCD thoughts. Having that acceptance of them and letting them be there, and they will get quieter, believe me, because when OCD is loud, it's really, really tough and it's frightening because it feels like there's no escape. But when we let them be there, let us have that awareness of them and be there in the background, they tend to just go away on their own because we're not hooking ourselves in, we're not answering back to OCD. And it will get tired. OCD, the bully, will get tired and will move on. But it's just that trick, that consistency of letting them be there. We can accept that, accept the thoughts are there, and move forward with our day because we deserve that. We deserve to not have OCD just running the show and controlling our lives to the extent it likes to, because it'll hook us in. It knows where to get us. It knows the least path of resistance. OCD knows where it's going to get your attention. So we've just got to let OCD try that and go, no, I know you're there. I know you're OCD. I'm moving forward. And let it play out in the background. Let it do what it wants, trying to grab your attention. But just go, no, and move forward. I know that sounds easy, and it really isn't. But if you find yourself getting pulled in, hooked in, again, it's okay. Just be kind with yourself, be gentle, and just let it be there. And just don't, when you feel that it pulling you in and trying to get you to understand it and work it out, we just have to keep doing it. And it'll feel very repetitive at first, but once we consistently practice this, you will find those thoughts like they do for other people. When I say the difference, they're able to let them go so much more easily than people with OCD. But we can achieve the same. I know it's going to be harder for us because we have OCD, but we can achieve that if we just let them be there. They say nothing about you. You are so much more than your thoughts. And you're so much more than OCD likes to tell us. Thanks for watching this video today, guys. I hope this has given you more useful information for dealing with OCD and anxiety. And I hope to see you in the next video. So please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, guys. It'll help a lot. See you next time.